on Saturday, Reese and I headed off to Young Dressage Association, their Christmas competition. It was held over the 2 days. Rich came with us and we stayed out there, and Reese is always great to take away. He never has any dramas. He happily hangs out in his yard beside the float, and yeah, he's such a good horse to take all around the place. They had a measuring day out there. Young put on an official EA measuring day, which was really good. I've never had him officially measured. He's been measured at Sydney a couple of times. But oh look, there's Reese over there at the gate watching Bumper get saddled up. Anyway, yeah, so he was officially measured at 14.1.5, which is exactly what I thought he was. So that's good. It was a late start, which always feel very uncomfortable not leaving until late in the day. So he didn't have his first test until 3 something, but we had to be there by midday. The measuring was running 10 till 12. So we had a bath, well, he had a bath and got platted up in the morning, and we tootled off out there and had him measured. And then I went and did some digital writing for one of the tests. And wow, that's really not that easy, is it? Trying to keep up with the judge and make it readable. Anyway, wasn't very good at it. Sorry guys who got those tests, but anyway, the scores were okay. It's easy to tap on the little scores. But yeah, so we did the Novice 2A on the Saturday afternoon, and we also did 2 elementary tests over the weekend. So this video will have the 2A and the 2C. And the next video will have a 3A and a 3B. And he's never done elementary before. I've never done elementary before. So it was good to have a crack. How the competition was laid out, they only had sort of one official test of each level on the Saturday because it was a bit of a shorter day. And I tossed up doing a young horse test, doing the 6-year-old test, but I've never done any of those young horse tests before. Never watched them. I don't know anything about them. So I was like, oh, don't know, maybe I won't. And of course afterwards I wished I had. But, you know, hindsight's always 20/20, isn't it? Next time. So we had a crack at the elementary before as well, sorry. And yeah, they'll be on the next video. So this one's the 2A and the 2C. And, you know, he started off a bit tight in the 2A, which is how he always rolls. But he loosened up as the weekend went on. And, yeah, these are our tests. This is the 2A test that we did first on Saturday afternoon. This was the first of the 4 tests that we did over the weekend. So I was reasonably happy with this for a first test. Yeah, there's things on the way through it, like the stretchy circle, which he never really does particularly well, which we continuously work on. Our halts in this one weren't real great, and they got better as the weekend went on. But yeah, he scored just under 62%, and the comments and the scores across both of the test sheets were pretty consistent with each other. our scores and our comments for our walks have been slowly improving over time, and if we can keep on getting that sort of half a mark more each time, well, obviously not each time, but over time it will get there. The flies really caught up with him along here. You can see he's starting to shake his head there, and he's getting all quite agitated over it, which led to pretty ordinary canter transition, and even all the way down here he was still not a happy camper. And just along here we throw in a change, which was not appreciated, so we fixed that, and you know, obviously that led to a pretty poor score for that movement, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? So yeah, we moved on from there, and I think the rest of the test was reasonably drama-free. This is the Novice 2C. This is the 4th test that we did over the weekend. We'd already done an elementary earlier in the morning before we did this, and he was starting to feel a fair bit tired, but he was much softer, much less tense, and yeah, overall I was pretty happy with this test. I think the comments were mostly reasonably positive. You can sort of tell, you can see in his neck there, he's a bit softer than he was in the 2A, that's where he really shows all of his tension. Had a bit of a trip there, which led to us being a bit behind at the start of our leg yield, which was a bit disappointing. But yeah, I was pretty happy with this. He scored exactly 65% between the two judges, which I'm happy enough with that score. You know, most of the scores were all quite similar. The girl that won it was a fair way out in front, but then the next 3 of us were all bunched up. So it's, you know, not terrible. Oh, we're trailing our quarters a bit there, aren't we? This is why we video these things. You can see, nitpick all of the little things that you need to work on, which I'm sure everybody does. All you see is the bad bits, isn't it? And yeah, I was really happy with this test, and he scored decently, he placed decently. So yeah, that was a very positive outing for him at Young. We did our first elementaries, as you'll see in the next video. Our stretchy circles are still not fabulous. He does stretch, as you can see, along the way, but he doesn't consistently stay down there, especially to the right. He doesn't like it. But anyway, it's a big improvement on what it was. Just as we come up here, you see me almost trot at the wrong spot before I went, oh, no, wrong test. That was a whole different test. Keep going. So that was nearly a moment, but I saved it. I was pretty happy, actually, that after learning all 4 tests for the weekend, that was the only almost moment that I had. No, especially I hadn't done 2 of them at all before. I was a bit concerned that I was going to have a few more moments than that, and possibly actual mistakes, not just moments, which, you know, we all have them. It's not the end of the world, but I was pretty happy to get through the weekend without really having any. Our halts certainly got better over the course of the weekend, from our first entry in the 2A to finishing there in the 2C. It was a world of difference. He's a good boy to take out and about. We went and gave him a shower after we finished on the Sunday, and on the way back to the yard at the float, he just had to stop and roll. He just couldn't make it back to the yard. He had to stop and do it right there. So yeah, that was our 2 novice tests from the weekend. The 2A, he was a bit tense to start with. He was very tight. That was the first test that we did on the Saturday, and realistically, that's how he rolls. He sort of takes a while to get into his groove. Sunday, he was much softer, much more relaxed. Yeah, I was really happy with the scores that he got in both of his novice tests. The no, it was the elementary. The different judges were very, very far apart. It wasn't so much so in the novice tests. But anyway, I was really happy with his score. He got 4th in the 2C, and you know, we were like a smidge behind Heath Ryan, so happy days. Can't complain about that. And there was less than 0.5% between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And you know, the girl that won the test got over 70%, and it was a lovely test. She rose on right before me, and yeah, it was a beautiful test. Congratulations to her. And yeah, and then there was, you know, a 6% drop to 2nd, and yeah, we were all bunched up for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.